Good morning, students. Today we are learning about closers. Your presentation's closing statement should give your audience a memorable final impression. You want your audience to remember you. And impression is like the effect or influence that something or someone has on a person's thoughts or feelings. So for example, her words made a strong impression on us. So you want your words to make a strong impression on your audience. There are 6 common types of closers. So the first one is a thought or comment about the future. The second is a recommendation or invitation. And then the third is a statement about the topic's importance. Then we have a call to action, or you could use a quotation or proverb. And then the last type is a request for others to share, like pass the mic. Let's learn more about each one. So first was a thought or comment about the future. So these are the things that will make the audience think about something in the future. So for example, I can always be sure that true friends are friends forever. Or, I know that whatever happens in my life, good or bad, I will always have my best friend beside me. These comments make you think about the future. Another idea is to do a recommendation or invitation. Okay, so recommendation, this is when you suggest to someone that they should do something. So for example, I've told you how much I love my best friend, and I hope you have a best friend you love just as much. Why don't you remind them today? Or, it made me so happy to think about the good times me and my friend have had together. I invite you to think about the good times you have had with your best friend. I think it'll make you just as happy as it made me. So you're inviting them to do something. You could also do a statement about the topic's importance. So this is a great way to conclude your presentation because people will realize how important your topic was. So for example, telling our stories is how we share who we are. And telling our stories with our friends is how we can remember who we can be. Or, I wouldn't be who I am without my best friend. I am so glad to be able to honor her by telling her story. So these are statements that show how important what you just talked about was. Another way to conclude is to use a call to action. So this is where you ask your audience to do something. You're asking them to move and to have action, all right? So 2 examples. First one is, tell your friend you love them today. And the second is, take a lesson from me and always put your friends first. I'm calling you or telling you to do something. A quotation or proverb. We talked about this yesterday. You can open and you can also close with a quotation or proverb if you like. Or you could just do one or the other. But using a quotation or proverb in your presentation can always be a good thing to help show how important your topic is and to help have more sources of information. And finally, a request for others to share, or some people call this the pass the microphone, or for short, pass the mic. This is when you kind of request or ask the audience to share their stories. So for example, now that you've heard about my friend, I'd like to hear about yours. We've used this one before, haven't we? Or, who else would like to tell us about their friend? You're asking the people listening to you to come and use the microphone after you and share their stories. So let's review the 6 types of closers that we learned today. There's a thought or comment about the future. You could recommend or give an invitation. You could also make a statement about the topic's importance. You could have a call to action. You could conclude with a quotation or proverb. Or you can conclude with a request for others to share or pass the mic. Using one of these ideas can really help you to give a presentation that leaves your audience with a very memorable final impression. They will remember what you said for a long time and think about it. And you might just help them with what they learned from your stories. Thank you guys for listening.